freaking thing. Oh.
What, babe? I'm
it's
looking.
live.
Yay! Let me see what I'm doing.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Okay, so that was our fun new intro that we have. That was me.
I love it.
I owe it, Joe. Thank you. Hey, I see your drawing that you drew us.
Hey, and after this, I'm gonna send you this. I actually got brand new acrylics, so I redid
That's right.
your beautiful logo, and I'm so excited. So
let me do the
share
intro.
that. We can do a nice soft launch tonight, and we'll work with it. I'm really excited.
Let me do the intro. So like we're probably like, what are we watching?
Yes, ma'am.
It's longer than the one that you actually heard, Emily. By the way, it's kind of actually similar. It's similar to the one that you heard from Life of Mary. Actually, it's very similar. Okay. Hi, you are watching the Mac and Cheese podcast, which you will hopefully be getting a podcast once a month or multiple episodes a week with one of my friends or celebrities. If you want to be a guest, please email us at macpodcast2023@gmail.com. Really, no one does that anymore. Or DM us on Twitter at macpodcast2023. Today's guest is a member of some of the people who I follow. They are Emily and The Sporles. Their Twitter will be in the bio, so if you want to follow them there, please do. Okay. Oh, I see that, guys. Stop. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
I am so happy to be here.
You guys are lucky. You're where it's nice and temperate and whatever. It's been bitter in the shadow of Lambeau Field. It's been really bad wind chills, but we're getting better. So it's
Sporles, give us a breakdown. What has it been like for the past week? I mean, I honestly think this whole country has been nuts.
Yeah, I'm traveling back from Arizona, where I was at a meeting last week, and the flight gets canceled. But unbelievably, we land in the middle of the storm on Friday. And, Milwaukee was getting, I don't know, about 10 inches. I think there was more.
Oh, they got nailed. Yes.
Yeah. So immediately after that, it was this Arctic polar vortex plunge occurred. I was in Chicago over the weekend. A friend lost her father, and I was down there.
I'm sorry
to see her. And but interestingly enough, I wake up, Sunday morning, it's like -12 with the winds just howling, and I still have my Arizona gear. I don't have my winter gear. It was fun. It was fun. So anyway, but the thing about it is, right? People like, I couldn't live where you guys live because I can't deal with the heat and humidity, right? So with the cold, you just throw on some extra layers and stuff like that, and you kind of go on and deal with it. So,
right.
But it's playoff weather, right?
Let's go.
Absolutely,
playoff.
Absolutely.
Playoffs.
That's the thing, I one of the weirdest, I don't want to say weirdest, but honestly, it hasn't crossed my mind like the Packers don't have home field advantage. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here. I don't care. The thing is, I think, okay, we bring people home to Green Bay, whatever. I don't care where we play because this is not the same team we're used to. And we're not going to deal with negative temperatures.
Exactly.
Right.
Did you guys see the Buffalo game where people were like, shovel yourselves your seat out. You sit wherever you want.
Yep.
Okay, so I got to go on a little bit of a rant there. That was ridiculous. Up in Lambeau, when they would have that happen, they'd put out the call. They'd get 10,000 people showing up. They'd have to turn away some of them, right? and they would shovel the whole. What I mean by shoveling it out, they would literally shovel the bowl out. They put the snow in these big slides, and it would slide down to the field level, and they would have trucks that would carry it out. In Buffalo, they shoveled the field, so the field looked good. They didn't shovel the stands at all. Like you said, people literally had to wade through waist deep snow, and then it's like, a friend of mine said, "Well, Dave, they're not going to sit anyway." I get up, and you're standing in like all this snow. It was crazy. I said, that did not look like Buffalo, because I would think Buffalo would be prepared, and they seemed to be utterly unprepared for the fact that they had snow in their thing.
But you know what? You love your team. You're diehard enough. The elements don't even stop you. What's funny is down here in Florida, I was fortunate enough. There's a woman who recently moved down here, and she's from McGuanago, which sounds alien if you've never been there, but it's it's about 45 minutes, an hour outside of Milwaukee, quaint town, and I absolutely love her. Her name is Sherry. I love this woman. And we were talking. She goes, "No one gets what it's like to drive up to Lambeau in the freezing cold." And you go and you bring a blanket, and you're so diehard for your team, and you make it work. And I said, no one really gets that. I mean, it's here, especially being in Central Florida, it's different because people's allegiances. You have people. It's a melting pot. You have people from literally all over the country that live here. It's a retirement home,
right?
But then you have either Jacksonville or the Buccaneers. But really, I've met everyone that diehard reps their team that is anything but those two. And so between her and these two other women, there's this. I absolutely love her. So I've been teaching dance all week.
I got it.
This one woman named Beverly. I love her. I'm sorry I'm laughing because she cracks me up. Every day she's been in diehard Packers gear. She just reminds me of me because I'm the one. I mean, look at me. I'm the one repping the cheesehead earrings. I'm doing all this stuff.
That's hilarious.
But these people, I mean, there are diehard Packers fans on here, and it is so cool. No matter where you are, if you see people that love your team, it is the best thing ever. It makes me laugh. So anyway,
I gotta tell you, I'm not a native. I grew up on the East Coast. I'll tell you that story sometime. But I've been out here for about 20 years. So when I first got out here, I remember seeing McGuanago, and I had no idea on the roadside. I had no idea how to pronounce that. And whatever came out of my lips did not sound like McGuanago.
Yes. No, you don't know how to pronounce it, do you?
So that's the test, right? That's the test. I would get out here, and people would say, okay, pronounce Shawno. Well, Shawno doesn't look like Shawno.
Oh, Shawno does not look like
Yeah. So they would say, pronounce this city, and I would be like Shawano or or whatever, We're like, yeah, you're not from around here.
My favorite is I don't know if they've done it recently. They really should with such a young team that we have, but it's like I remember like 5 years ago it was like the Packers. It's like, can you pronounce these cities? It was like Oconomowoc.
Oh my God, yes. Oh yeah. Oh my God, yes.
And I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but it is so funny because they can't pronounce it worth a damn. But I mean, even today's day and age, I mean, you don't know, but that's I think that is, people say there's a mystique or a magic or a flair to your town. There's something you can't touch or talk about that is so endearing about Green Bay or Wisconsin, that we are so fortunate to have such a historied team and to have people that want to be there and play for us or do all this stuff, because you can't even make that stuff up. It's such a special thing, and I think it's wonderful. It is really cool.
Well, and the other thing too is that, and I guess we're digressing here, but the other thing that's really cool about it is that it'll never leave. I mean, we don't have a Jerry Jones or an Arthur Blank or who's the guy in Washington, Daniel Snyder. We don't have one of these idiots that might get upset, pissed off or whatever, want a bigger stadium and leave. So I mean, that's the nice thing. It's owned by literally owned by the fans and the shareholders. And I I'm a shareholder. And the interesting story about that was I got the first time in my lifetime that they offered stock was right after my daughter was born. And I literally didn't have the money, and I'm like, well, I'd love to do that, but I just can't, And then the next time was had to do with the when they renovated Lambeau. I think it was in 2002, and we had either just moved out here or we're still back east. But I remember like, no, now's the time. Now's the time. I'm going to do this, and so yeah, so and then when I got here, I put my name in for season tickets.
Oh wow.
Well, there's no way. I mean, I'm like 65,000 or something and there's like 200 that come off every year. So one of these days, I'm just going to transfer it over to my daughter and say maybe you'll have a shot. But I'm like, yeah, it's not looking good for me.
Wait, I was about to tell Emily you have fans in tonight.
She's a super fan.
I know,
what?
Right?
Did you see what I'm rocking? What I'm rocking, and I'll rock this forever. Is I have my Campeche collective shirt. I love this. This is my Jair Alexander. It's his album cover, parental advisory, and what it is. I gotta stand up, maybe. Hang on. But it's strap city.
There you go.
It's my favorite shirt ever. So between that and you guys have seen me, I wear the silly body, which I designed. That was my design that I sent to Dakota with Campeche, and I wear that almost. At least I'm your typical dance teacher. I wear layers. I always have like my shirt tied around my waist. And I always wear that. And I actually had someone 2 weeks ago come up to me. She was this woman. I love her. She asked, "Are you the one they're saying is dating Jordan Love?" What?
That's a good one.
I said, "Where did that come from?" That shirt, I mean, no one has that. Did you design that for him? I said, well, I designed it for my friend who designs shirts. I said, I'll never forget, actually, you guys, if you want a fun story. This was like back in, early September, and I had a free day. It was one of our last, boo-hoo. It was a good warm day. I was sitting at my pool. But I always bring whenever I go, I have my books or I have my sketchbook. I have this gigantic sketchbook my aunt gave me, and I'm always drawing stuff. Right. And so all of a sudden I was like, I pulled up the Packers. They do those fun videos. It was like, the significant others, kind of outing what their husbands or boyfriends on the team, their quirks, right? And that's when Jordan Love's girlfriend saying how when he's tickled, he has silly. He doesn't say he's ticklish; he has silly body. And I sat there and I laughed. For me, I mean, you guys. Whether you guys both know me, okay. Well, here in our video person, you guys know me. I'm the goofiest person. I mean, I love to laugh, and I have a humor of a 5-year-old. And I go, that would be. Grab my pencil. Nope. Perfect shirt. Got an idea. So I'm messaging Dakota. We've talked previously. I mean, I have a bunch of Campeche collective shirts and stuff. I got our coach is hotter than yours, the Matt LaFleur shirt. I wore that actually 2 days ago at my gym, and people were asking about it. So I said, if you get an influx of people with Florida dresses, give me 20% off my next order. I'm promoting it. But anyway, but no, I was like, hey, Dakota, I have this idea. And I drew it. And I still have the original drawing, which it's covered in suntan lotion. It's in my big big book. It's so funny. I was like, we need to do a silly body t-shirt. So we did. I wear that.
Right.
I wear that shirt. I have it on me at least like 5 times a week. I have it on my waist. I wear it whatever. Because I got it. You can get it in a t-shirt. You can get it whatever. And
Right.
I got it where it's a long sleeve t-shirt, which is
Mhm.
awesome. So I have it with me all the time. But anyway, I hate saying like, oh, this team's, memeable, whatever. So let's get on another tangent. There's so many
Okay,
funny things we can say about this team. So I want you guys to tell me like shit like
Emily.
that. I'm sorry. It's
No, you're.
like silly body. Like you have
Don't
just
worry about
memeable stuff.
it. Okay,
Like
so I did promise these commenters we would get to their comments tonight.
yes, let's do it. Please.
So one says, "Hey guys," from Steven.
Hey,
Steven.
I love Steven.
Yeah. And Emily, you have a fan tonight.
Oh,
Watching.
I do. Oh,
Detroit Mission Control says,
oh, that's
"Hey,"
my
by the way.
guy. Yeah. Okay, we love him. Yes. Hey.
And
Oh.
then Broncos fan here, but rooting for the Packers to win it all this year. Thank you. We appreciate the support.
We love that.
And Steven again, that's awesome with what you said about silly body or something. I don't know. Off topic. And then being a shareholder is great. I also said. That's all for now. Okay.
I love it.
Yes.
I love
we love
it.
art. And chat, if you guys have any questions, please ask away.
Please. And I was trying to share it on my feed too, just to get people involved.
Thank you.
Some people are interested. So I'm going to keep that going because, this is great. I'm just curious with the both of you. Just a question at the top of my head.
Yeah.
So we have a huge game.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly, for me to say that feels so weird. I don't know about you. Like we have another. I don't want to say another. We have a huge game Saturday.
Right.
We do not. Okay, and no, I'm working on this. I'm not apologizing. I'm not. I say we do not have any ghosts of our past. We are a brand new team.
You're right.
Can we beat the 49ers? And how? Can we? That's one question. But knowing, and I'm kind of playing devil's advocate, but I'm kind of not because it's a damn truth. We don't have any of our old ghosts. Can we beat the 49ers? And what do you guys think? And maybe we could talk about this for an hour. What could they do? We are not under the guise of our everything we've dealt and the ghosts, the demons. We don't have them.
Right.
So can we do it? Can the Packers, can this team beat the 49ers? Because that being said, we're not going up just a bunch of chumps. This is the 49ers, and you guys, okay, now I'm going to attack another thing. We have a lot to talk about. They are not taking us lightly. If you've seen what they're talking about lately.
Right.
Go.
Well, the first answer, I think is an easy one. Can we? Absolutely. I mean, there's always a shot, right? And I think we absolutely have a shot. Now, the second part is, well, how likely is it? And guess what? I don't really know, but I do know that there's a couple of things that I think go in our favor. And one of the things that goes in our favor is this is a team, the Niners, I'm saying,
yes,
that hasn't played a meaningful game in over a month.
Yep.
They kind of sewed things up. They had some easy games. They played like the Commanders, which was, they're terrible. And then they played the Rams, but they didn't play any of their guys in the Rams. They sat all their key guys. So it's been a month since they played any kind of meaningful game. And on the other hand, we've been in win or go home mode for
Right.
like the last 6 weeks. You know, and,
Yeah.
and every single week we've had to come up with a new game plan. We've had a new challenge. We had to beat the Vikings in the Vikings, which is always a house of horrors for us. And then we had to
Exactly.
beat the Bears.
Right.
And the Bears, that's their Super Bowl, right? I mean,
Right.
they could go 1-16, but if they beat us, that's they've had a great year. So that was a huge game. And then Dallas, and you say what you want. Obviously, we dominated that game, but Dallas didn't hold back. They weren't like I know that they went in and they were trying as hard as possible to win that game. So yeah, so I think what do they say? Steel sharpens steel, and we've been sharpened by all those opportunities. So we have some momentum, and B, some steeliness in the sense that we've had to play under pressure. And the Niners, they've got an all-star team, right? And they've got tons of all-stars on that team, but
You're
they
right.
haven't had to play in those tough conditions for a long time,
Right.
So
I was just gonna mention to that, Emily, you had a question on here. Someone asked, "What are you cooking for this game?" I know we kind of talked about that.
Oh, that's a great question. I'm gonna.
oh, she just muted.
I know.
The answer is meatballs. She's cooking meatballs.
You're muted, Emily.
It's a shame. She just gave out the recipe and everything,
I know.
Wait, can you hear me? Why was I muted? Hang on.
I don't know.
I just gave
Mary
it up.
muted you.
Okay.
She said, "We don't want to hear your answer."
Wait, not true.
Okay, I just noticed. I'm sorry. I was like, why the hell am I muted? No, okay. I have my own secretive buffalo chicken dip recipe. But what I do, it's less of a dip and it's more of a dish. And I love to make it where I get huge leaflets of romaine lettuce and I make lettuce wraps. And I take shredded carrots, ranch dressing, and I put croutons and I make gigantic lettuce wraps. And with the hot sauce and all that. So that's one of my favorites. But I'm also really tempted because I haven't been really eating. I've been on a bread diet this month, you guys. I'm dying. I'm on no grain, so I'm not eating bread, pasta, anything. But that being said, I really want to make maybe some smaller versions of meatballs, where we have it with like the toothpicks, and either I like to make both. I have two cookers, where one is a marinara and one is a buffalo, and because I'm difficult, I have one, and my secret is I put this on the stove in a pan of barbecue sauce. So I have 3 different flavors of meatballs.
Whoa.
Now, if you want to take it a step further, my darlings, you can just eat them with your toothpicks, or you want to have some fun. What I said earlier about the meatballs, you can do that with a wrap, but you can also make, I'm cheating here. I love this. Those Hawaiian rolls.
Yep.
With the orange bag.
Yep.
And you grab that with your favorite slice of cheese. I don't care what your cheese is. I love provolone for this, but you make meatball sliders and you pour a little bit of your sauce, and then grab them with a little salad, and you have your football ready food. The end. The best. The best. Now, my other thing is too, if you want to take it to M's level, you do your meatballs, a little provolone, and you get your jar of pepperoncinis. You do meatballs, sauce, provolone, pepperoncinis, Hawaiian roll. Call it. You're done. I can't mess around. You know how passionate I am about this. I am so passionate about my food.
After the season's over, we're going to have to do a whole food show.
Oh,
You know?
I'm down.
Bros, I would love nothing more to get like
Let's do it.
a group and we just do like literally we stream and we say, what are you making? And we're not maybe necessarily eating each other's food. We say we're cooking for each other, and we just have a day where we're just getting each other food.
That'd be a blast. Yeah.
I'm 100% down for that. Oh, someone corrected you about the name of the Hawaiian rolls.
Oh, what they say?
King's Hawaiian rolls is what they're called.
Yeah.
and they're gluten free this month only, so you can eat as many of them as you want and it's gonna wreck your diet.
Oh my gosh, this is so funny. Yes, but literally, you make your meatballs, do your own red sauce, whether it's homemade. If you do a jar, I'm not gonna get mad. Your own slice of cheese or your parm. You do your Parmesan Reggiano. You do the Hawaiian roll. Man, I could eat like 6 of those sliders. They're so good. I'm telling you. Maybe I'll post that. That's my next recipe because that's a fun. We need game food, and that's a great one.
Yeah,
that's a great one.
So Mary, Em gave me that meatball recipe, I don't know, 3 months ago or something like that. And so literally I'm making the meatballs, right? And I might have done a couple of changes. I might have done a couple of,
Okay.
I can't follow a recipe verbatim. I always have to like throw a couple of different things in. But basically it was the recipe. Yeah. And so I'm literally
Okay, continue.
Wait, where are you?
I'm going to taste the sauce. I take one bite and I'm like, this is so good. I'm not using any sauce, right? And so literally, I'm eating the meatballs right out of the pan. No sauce, no pasta, no nothing. Just they're that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. People are down for a cooking show, Emily.
Here we go.
Okay. You know who I was talking with? You guys know Jasmine.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. And she has been posting her crazy recipes, and I joked to her like 2 weeks ago. I said, well, what better day than like all day Saturday? Like we get people together, like, what are your food recipes? But we have some type of like Packer potluck where it's like, what are you bringing? But like not just I've posted that before, but I'm saying like, what's your recipe? Maybe someone's I always think like someone's by themselves, they need something to do. Maybe they're having a bad day. They're like, fuck yeah, I want to make some cocktail Wheaties. Well, I got the recipe for you. And they pull it up. They go, wow. Or they say, hey, I want to make meatballs. Or like Jasmine last week, she did like a crazy slider. I go, her recipes. I go, man, I get inspired by her food.
Right.
That would be so much fun to get people involved. Because that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yep. If you guys want to do it, let me know. I can live stream it on Twitter or something.
We should put some feelers out tonight. I think that'd be really cool. Like, hey, tomorrow, like tonight and tomorrow, we think about it. Like, get people marinating on it. But why not? Because, I think that'd be a lot of fun. And honestly, Mary, I think like. I actually, it's funny I'm bringing this up because I brought this up at my club today. I have set hours with what I do when I teach dance, different classes, obviously, but there's also loopholes where there's free time. And it was a conversation with my aunt who belongs there and my manager. And I go, I want to have a pop-up class. And I want to say like Friday at 3, no one's using Studio A. I want to market it the week prior and say, hey, Friday at 3:00, come to Emily's disco Zumba class. So in this sense, we say, hey, you should tune into this podcast. We're going to talk about Packers and food or Packer potluck. What would you bring to your potluck? Do you have a recipe to share? And people could like send their PDF in the chat or send it to your email. And then everyone's kind of involved in this revolving recipe chat. I mean, sharing recipes has gone, I mean, I remember when I was 5, and my mom's been a nurse forever, and I remember how I got into cooking. I was a young kid, but she goes, "We all shared recipes all the time." I mean, how fun
Right.
would that be? Like a podcast saying, "Hey, Packer potluck, what are you bringing?" Whether it's, if you drink or not, hey, I have a fantastic Bloody Mary recipe. Cool. Or, it's not really pack oriented, but I make a great cheesecake. Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
My mom and I like made Packer pizza the other day, like for football games.
How was it?
It's super good.
What are the ingredients?
It's bratwurst for the Wisconsin, sauerkraut and green pepper for like green and gold. It's good with like mozzarella and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like if we do the Packer potluck, I can do that easily. Okay, Sporles, I'm sorry, you were left out of this. Whatever.
No.
Miranda
I'm
said,
good.
"Hi, ladies, go Pack, go." Miranda, we love you. You are the best.
Yeah.
I know she was watching her daughter at dance tonight.
I know. I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think, I'm being honest. I think it is so awesome. The community of Packer fans and people that, I've been on Twitter for a very, very,
Right.
very long time. But I will say it is, people say, "Oh, well, you're fake guy friends." I've had a family member say that. And I said, "You're full of shit, honestly." And I said, there are so many awesome people that, what? When you meet people that are genuine and they have nothing to hide, they are
Right.
unabashedly themselves and are proud of who they are, man, especially as Packer fans, we are very blessed. And again,
Mm-hmm.
I vouch for the both of you. I feel very lucky to know you both. And I feel very happy that I've connected with you and what you stand for, who you are as people. It's rare. It is, but at the same time, it is the coolest thing. So and like Miranda's one of those people, but you two especially. I just have to give my own very genuine shout out to the both of you because I love you both and
Aw,
it's the truth. So you know what? You can't write anything better than that. I
I
think it's
know.
so wonderful.
I
You're sweet
mean,
to say that, and
yeah.
the feeling is reciprocal because I know that the platform itself can be there's a lot of hate and
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of pettiness and stuff. So when you find people that are authentic and kind and sharing, uh, I think that's rare and that's precious. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that too.
Emily Detroit said Emily has the biggest heart, and I do have to agree.
I would second that motion.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? That really makes me that brings me a lot of joy because um I think what I've tried to bring to the table, I'm not even trying, it's me. I have no reason to not be myself. I have no reason to not share what I like, whether it's a stupid joke or my food recipes or a movie quote or something. What you see is what you get with me, and that's
Right.
why I've connecting with people. And what you see with me is I'm a diehard Packer fan. Um, always have been. But I'm also unabashedly myself, and it's nice to connect with people that see that um, and that welcome me because there's been times in my life where I've been lonely or I've dealt with things where people don't get me, and I'm so happy that I have known and connect with people like you and those watching too that make me feel um, really happy to be here. So I'm very blessed.
Emily and Miranda just texted me saying we're going to make her cry by all the sweet comments tonight.
Who said that?
Miranda.
Oh, I love her. She's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah. And she actually did the countdown, our old intro.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's
It's
wonderful.
actually funny because I actually sent her the intro first. She was the first one to know about the intro song.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like, and then it was Angry. No, Angry knew first. But, yeah. Oh. And then I just sent it to Iowa Joe yesterday, and he got it to me, like, right away.
Excellent.
Oh, and guys, the only reason why it says OPE is because Mac and Cheese is officially partnering with Ohana Packer Edition now. So that's fun. So if you go onto their website, you can find our podcast there now, too. Not only do we have the YouTube channel, which is growing, and Miranda still hates editing. Yes, I know, girl. I know you hate editing for me. That's actually a joke because she helped me edit Urinating Trees episode, a little bit of it. Okay. I feel like we should get back on topic. I knew we would get off topic eventually.
You think?
What are your guys' favorite moments going to Lambeau?
I'll let Emily go first since I went first last time.
Awesome.
I
I'm
already know yours.
gonna give me some generalities. I think it was about God, I have no idea what year it is. 7, 8 years ago. I went, it was the Christmas Day. We played the Bears and we won. And a coworker of mine rescinded their tickets to a suite. So I brought my dad, my sister, and my cousin Peter. He's a year older than me. Huge diehard. I said, and usually on my Italian side, Christmas Eve is our go-to. So we have the big party, food. We're together all night. We're just whatever. I'm like,
Right.
Shit, I forgot. I said, you guys want to go to Lambeau tomorrow? Like, what? We gotta go. I mean, I just moved back from Orlando. I had been working at Disney. My brain is, I don't know my ass from 7, which is my favorite thing Grandpa has ever said. Right. Let me say that again if you ever want to use this. I don't know my ass from 7. I don't know what that means still, but I love saying it. So I didn't know. So anyway, my cousin, my dad, and my sister were like, what the hell? Are you serious? I go, we ride at dawn.
Yeah.
So we had a great Christmas Eve. We did the present. I mean, my grandma's there, rest in peace. At the time, she was there. The whole, like 50 people. I don't know half the people that are there. Anyway, we drive up, and we're in the box. We were in a suite. We had platters of food, and we're just hanging out. And it's none of our first rodeos of Lambeau. I mean, we've gone whenever we can get, we can. But I just remember that game that we beat the Bears on Christmas Day. And to me, there's nothing harder than after a game day, whether it's noon, 4, or in this case, 7 o'clock game, where we're bordering on midnight, and you have to make that trek back from Green Bay to Milwaukee. On that freaking 2-lane highway with cops everywhere, drunk people driving. You don't know if you're going to make it home or not. You don't. But we did. Wow. But I will never forget being in that suite and seeing my younger sister, the joy, and seeing that and my dad. Well, my cousin and I mean, my cousin Peter, we are, from what you know of me, I am as diehard as I can get. But having a cousin and I going nuts, but seeing my dad and both my younger sister looking around like, is this real life? I I remember that a lot. I think about that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's very special. So I'd love to hear your stories.
You know, I've got two. Like I said, I'm a transplant, but I've been a Packer fan for I don't want to tell you how long, but because
Wow.
I stopped counting my age after a while. But here's the deal: you could probably figure it out. So I grew up in like a suburb of Philadelphia. It was actually in Delaware, but nobody knows where Delaware is. But it's just south of
I'm
Philly.
in Delaware.
So anyway, I was and born and raised there. Lived until literally until 2002 in Delaware. When I was 10, my aunt gave me the book Instant Replay, which is you may know it's a diary of the Packers 1967 season, written by Jerry Kramer, who was inducted in the Hall of Fame a couple years ago. Well, that was at a pivotal point in my life, and just became a huge Packer fan. So from literally about 1970 on, I was the only kid in the playground that had a Packer jacket on. Everybody else had Cowboys or Raiders or Vikings or Steelers, you know, and I was the only kid that had a Packer. So anyway, I get it was a work related thing. I got transferred to Wisconsin. And the office was located on Lombardi Avenue. Now, as a diehard Packer fan, I know that's where the stadium is, right? So I'm still in Delaware. I call up the administrator of the office and I say, you know, I don't want to like ask a dumb question, but are you guys close at all to the stadium? You know, I thought Lombardi Avenue could be 5 miles long, you know, and I didn't know. And there's this pause, and she says, well, if you're on the other side of the building, the stadium is right there, and literally, it's probably the closest. In fact, I still park there because you can park there not pay anything, but it's the closest building that is not like turned into a big parking lot on game day. So I literally moved to Green Bay, and for a number of years, every day on the way to work, boom, right there's a stadium. But I didn't have tickets right. So finally around December, and again, it was against the Bears. In December, I get tickets. First game ever in Lambeau Field, and it was the year that they were renovating it, so it's kind of torn up. But I walk in there, and the first thing I did was I literally like fell to my knees. I'm like, this is the hallowed ground. This is well, because my office was up there, right? I parked at the office, and as I'm about to walk over, one of the top guys there pulls up in his car and he says, hey, do you want to drive over? And it was cold. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll drive. And I didn't want to say no to him, right? So we drive over. Well, that was a stupid mistake because I could have walked over faster, right? So we drive over, and he has I guess one of his clients that he parked at their house and all this. So we get to but we're getting there late, and I don't remember whether I know I got there like maybe right before kickoff, but it's winter, right? And I'm in seat number 12, and I look down and there's no seat, right? I mean, it's wall to wall people. And I'm like, all right, how am I going to do this? So I walk down the thing. This is not Emily in this schmaltzy, super box, right? This is Dave out there trying to figure out where I'm going to sit, And so I get down, and so I'm asking him, I said, who's got number 13? Who's got number 11? Finally I found the person where I was, and there's a space, but they kind of scooched a little bit. Well, I was so I was just kind of, I couldn't even sit down. I was kind of like turned halfway with my shoulders because there's no room, So for the first half, and then at halftime they get up to go, get something to eat or whatever, and then I could finally sit. But anyway, yeah. So that was fun. I'll never forget that. There was this lady in front of me in a big Packer parka, and every time there'd be like a bad Packer play, she'd be standing up. And if there's good Packer play, she wasn't doing it. And so finally I tapped her on the shoulder and I said, are you okay? She turns around and underneath her parka, she had a little Chicago Bear thing. She says, yeah, I'm really a Bears fan, but I'm wearing this so we don't get yelled at.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, so that was that. Yeah. Fun times, right?
Oh my gosh. Wait, no, never mind. I'm not even going to talk right now. Nope, not even going to.
Why?
Because Emily knows this. I have never been to Lambeau Field ever, and I'm from Wisconsin.
That's not a bad thing, honey. I said you have something to look forward to and work towards. It's not a bad thing.
I'm still thinking draft, but who knows? Oh, I guess we can talk about that kind of. No, we can skip do that question because I don't care. Oh no. Who are your top 2 Packers that naming quarterbacks, offensive and defensive? Emily, I know yours, so we'll skip you on this question.
You know me, baby.
I know yours because I asked you this question. What about you, Sporles?
I guess I kind of screwed up because I didn't see the fine print that was offensive defense, but I picked 2 defensive guys.
Go ahead.
And the first one's Reggie.
Yep.
And I picked Reggie really because for 2 reasons. Number one, he came to Green Bay when very few people would choose to, at a time when the team wasn't that good and there was a perception that Green Bay was like the Siberia, like the gulag of the NFL, and they all wanted to go to LA or New York or Dallas or whatever. But Reggie chose to come here. And as a consequence of that, over the years, a number of other players had decided that, yeah, guess what? Green Bay's a cool place to be. And so it kind of opened up a door. And you can point to Ron Wolf, you can point to Mike Holmgren, you can point to Brett Favre as being linchpins of why we won that Super Bowl. But really, it was Reggie that had a huge amount to do with it, not just on the field, but in his persona and making it cool to come to Green Bay. Where a lot of other players then turned out to come here. And then the second part of the whole thing was he pretty much willed us to that Super Bowl. We, Favre and Andre Rison and Freeman and Desmond Howard, they all had a part in us getting a lead, but it was the second half, and the New England was starting to come back, and Reggie he would not being denied. He had 3 sacks in the second half of that game, and personally tormented Drew Bledsoe into making a bunch of mistakes, and that's what led to us winning. And the interesting story is that was the 3rd Super Bowl, so the 3rd Lombardi Trophy, but in reality it was the 1st Lombardi Trophy, because when they won Super Bowls 1 and 2, it wasn't called the Lombardi Trophy then, right? It didn't get called the Lombardi Trophy until after Super Bowl, I think it was Super Bowl 5. So, that was the first, and I remember Holmgren saying, we're bringing the Lombardi Trophy home, right? Mm-hmm. And that had a lot of meaning because it was our, that it was named after our guy, right? And it's our trophy, and that was the first time in 30 years that that it had come home. And Reggie had a lot to do with it. So Reggie was number 1, and Charles Woodson was number 2, and for kind of similar reason, because Charles Woodson had a lot to do with our winning the latest Super Bowl. The Rodgers and Greg Jennings, and certainly we had. We had had a great game that day, but Woodson was the one that I think got the team to believe that that was possible, and he got the team to believe that we could, that we were good enough to win. And he got hurt at the end of the first half, so he couldn't play the second half. But the team wasn't going to let him down. The team won that championship for Charles Woodson. So, and Mary, if you haven't been to a game, but hopefully someday you get to go to the Hall of Fame, in the stadium. And there you can stand there. And I have a picture, right, of me and 4 Lombardi trophies. And guess what? Nobody in Chicago can say that. Nobody in Minnesota even has
I was
one.
gonna say, what about Minnesota?
Detroit can't even dream of it, right? And so what happens, is that to me, that's one of the coolest things. And I made sure I got a picture of that because it's like, yeah, there's very few places on the face of the earth where you can go in. And in fact, they did Hard Knocks with Aaron Rodgers, and he goes into the Jets, and guess how many they have? They have one, right? And he even said, because he's been in Green Bay, he says, yeah, your trophy case looks a little lonely, right? So I mean, we're really in hallowed ground, and it's just something to be. Emily used the term gratitude and grateful, and that's how I feel. It's like we can literally stand there. I live in Appleton, so I'm a half an hour away. I can go up there, and I'll do it in the off season, and I'll go up there and I'll stand there and I'll be like, yeah, this is really, really cool. I mean, not many places. Maybe Pittsburgh and maybe New England and whatever they have some, but not many places that you can go in and see that. And we have Reggie and Charles to thank for that. So those are my guys.
That's great. I think
that's awesome.
I just saw you picking us up and I'm like, wait, what's going on?
She had to get the meatballs ready.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Guys, so hungry. I want meatballs so bad.
Did you say bucatini? Oh, no, you're not having grains, are you? Oh, that sucks.
No, believe it or not, I'm going this whole month without grains. So, some people call it the Whole30. And for me, Whole30 is awesome, but it's also killer because, long story short, it's no grain. So there's no pasta, no bread, no cereal, really. No alcohol, no unnatural sugar. Fruit is great. You can eat all the bacon and protein in the world. Bacon, you are fine. But I've been just drinking a lot of tea and water. But what's cool is that I'm like 18 days in now, but my energy is through the roof.
That's good.
Through the roof. But I am dying.
Oh,
yeah.
Emily, someone's calling you out right now.
Oh no, who's calling me out?
Didn't you cook pasta the other night?
No, I did not. I made for my father because I had my parents over. I did not.
More bacon, more better. Another comment.
Seriously, that's the cool thing is and I try to, I don't, I'm not one of those people that's like, don't eat red meat. I bake, whatever. But I miss my meatballs because my signature meatballs call for a good, like I hate this word. You guys are gonna kill me. Moist breadcrumb, breadcrumbs is the texture.
Emily, what do you have to say about this comment? I reported your recipe.
I know, but I cannot wait to have that back. But even with Whole30, you have to be careful with your marinara. Granted, if I had all the time in the world, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, you make your own. But, a lot of pasta sauces that when you're in a bind, you get from the jar. Really, the only one that's compliant is Raos, Raos. They have great, good ones, but you'll taste the difference because there's no sugar. And sugar makes everything from bread to pasta to sauce that much better.
Yep.
But I'm going so long without sugar, y'all, I'm losing my mind. Yeah, I said what was funny, I didn't tell you guys this, but it was on New Year's Eve, I was with my parents down here, and so down here in the villages where I live, every night there's like 4 different town squares, and we live close to one, and they have the best music every night of the year. Literally a band plays from 5 to 9. And even what I love to share with you guys is 9 o'clock is late night around here, which makes me crack up. Anyway, So New Year's Eve, we went to this really cool place nearby, and I knew with my mom, my dad does his own thing. I mean,
Mhm.
dealing with his own health issues, he is not going to do Whole30, and he's going to do whatever the hell he wants. And I said, please, Lord, do it. We went to our favorite Italian place, and they bring out these amazing hot rolls, and they bring it with like a platter of butter and stuff,
Yeah.
but they bring it with this homemade Italian. I don't even say dressing, but like it's a whole dip. You just roll. I'm like, I didn't have this in Wisconsin. What is this? You just
Right.
roll your bread. Anyway, I had 7 of them. I had an entire plate and a half of spaghetti and meatballs, and extra garlic breadsticks. And I still think about that because that was my last hurrah. I ate enough bread for 5 people that day.
Um.
Y'all, I'm dying. And I'm thinking about cheese curds.
Oh no. Oh shoot. Don't even
But
get me
But anyway, I'm thinking about you guys. If you guys, whether you're home by yourself, or you have a friend over, what do you guys like to do if you're want to, shack up and watch, a couple games of football? I know with us, with the Packers, sometimes it's a 3 o'clock game or 6 o'clock. You have the entire day. Do you, have a taco bar? What do you guys like to do if you're? I don't know. Do you guys like to go out? Do you know homebodies like me, where it's like, hey, I kind of want to make some food and
right.
someone wants to come over, cool. If not, more fun for me. But what are your let's broaden it. What are your kind of home game,
Yeah.
or what is your game day at home? What do you like to do?
Yeah. Here, I can go first. So
Go ahead, Mary.
It depends on where I am. Like for New Year's, I was in Wisconsin, so that kind of changed a little bit. I was in like the Adams Friendship area for New Year's, so that was fun. So that night we went to a Packers bar to watch the Packers beat the Vikings, and we had a fun time. It was New Year's Eve, so we stayed out till midnight, and it was super fun. But if I'm home in Florida, my mom and I like make food. Depends on what time it is, and we hang out sometimes and watch TV, like with each other. And that's it.
I'm kind of wacky. I get really tense, and there are times when I'll make especially like you said in the late games, you have all this time, so I'll definitely try to go to the gym to burn off some energy. But I'll come home and I'll make stuff. I mean, a lot of times I like doing stuff in the crock pot because you can throw it in early in the day, and
Right.
and it just smells so good, And then I think I did carnitas for one of the last games, and that's a good one. So it's just kind of bubbling away, and then you can shred it and put it into tacos with all kinds of stuff. But I get to the game, and my stomach's just in a knot, and I'm like, so I literally remember making it, and then I'm putting it away, right? Because I'm like, I just can't, I mean, it smells great and all that, but I'm just like, I'm just so yeah, I'm more of a homebody kind of person. It's kind of fun sometimes to go out and watch a game, but not a Packer game. If it's another game, yeah, that's fun, but not a Packer game. The Packer game, I get really like this, kind of intensity, I guess, going.
So I don't know if you guys read what this comment said. I like to cook my famous buffalo wings when I'm watching the Broncos games.
So wings are good. So what kind of sauce do you normally do with your wings? And do you dip it in ranch or blue cheese, or how do you do your wings? And Emily, there's no grain in wings, so you can, you can do whatever you want.
No, I am a diehard buffalo girl. And I say, I don't care what if people are so picky with their wings. If I have wings and they're buffalo sauce, I'm cool. And honestly, you guys, it took me until about 6 months ago to actually, first of all, consume and enjoy blue cheese. Or I
Really?
don't say blue cheese, but like the dressing. So
Right.
Yeah.
but that for me, I absolutely love, and I go, where the hell have I been? Because I freaking love it. I love it. I love blue cheese dressing. And so
Right.
she's in there. I'm not talking about just the chunks, a
Yeah.
chunky thing. Yes, Lord. But I don't care. I don't care if someone's like, you have to forego your favorite sides. So I'm a sides girl. Like I said, I'm a sauce girl. I love my sauce. I love my
Mhm.
garlic bread. For wings, I like my, celery, carrots, this.
Mhm.
No. Give me blue cheese and a good medium to hot buffalo sauce, and I'm fine.
How about you, Mary?
Oh no, I'm a barbecue girl.
Okay,
Barbecue. Like
gotcha.
it depends on like if it's homemade ranch too. Like if it's homemade ranch, then yeah.
Yep.
Mm, so we were kind of okay. We're gonna skip draft in 2025 because I got told it's too early to talk about it. What are you guys hoping to do with the draft in 2024 coming up, with the season coming close to an end, kind of? What position or what?
So here's my take on it. In Goot we trust.
Yep.
Because I'm kind of a draft Nick, a draft nerd, whatever.
Okay.
I do all these, mock drafts and all this analysis and all this kind of stuff, and over the years, and every time
Mhm.
they'll pick somebody that I not even on the radar screen. That you go down and they're number 15, and you've got, oh, this is the perfect guys right there, right ready for us, and they'll go a different direction, a different position
Right.
entirely. But you know what? It works out. you know,
Right.
they get these guys and they work out. And so here's what I think. If you ask me what I think,
Mhm.
he tends to go big guys early.
Right.
So I would expect a big guy. I don't know, offense or defense, but
Okay.
doesn't matter. And then the other thing I think he's probably going to, I hope, it's what we need more than anything is in the defensive backfield, cornerbacks and safeties and nickel corners, slot corners, that kind of thing. And so I don't know if they're going to go there in the first because, like I said, he goes big a lot of times, but we definitely need some speedy guys in the back. I think we're going to need a couple of interior offensive line guards and center guys, and a couple of running backs.
Yeah, for sure.
But they're not going to pick them early.
No.
They picked Aaron Jones in the 5th round.
Right.
You can get a good running back in the 4th or 5th, 3rd, 4th, 5th round. No need to go up for those guys, but and no need to go early for the interior offensive line either. So that's what I think.
Right.
We might get another pass rusher. We might get a tackle. That's kind of what I'm thinking they'll do. So we'll see.
Right. Mm-mm. Wait, what's going on Twitter? I just see Emily tweeting again about the podcast being on.
Yep, I'm just posting it out there. I had a friend, Andrew of mine, asked me about joining in. I said, jump into the podcast. You have questions, just throw them in.
Oh, I think I just commented back to them.
Yeah, so I said, just
We were
pop
talking
on.
about draft positions, Emily. What
What was
draft position?
that?
Draft positions in 2024.
Oh, Lord. You know what? If we're in the top 25, I'm happy because you know what? And this is weird for me. I am a creature of habit. I'm a creature
Mhm.
of seeing what's been done, what works, and what I digest as makes sense for us. That being
Mhm.
said, what do we want? I say, you know what? I think maybe someone that complements our offensive line will help. And I'm not saying that, and people are going to twist this, and I don't care. But someone that's going to all of a sudden show up,
Yep.
and the heavy thing, as a leader, young or old, whether they're someone well esteemed, well established, but that's going to come into our offensive line and say, we're here to protect Love because he's a real deal. And we are fortunate enough. I had this conversation with my dad the other day, and this is generalities across the board.
All right.
Leadership is a pinnacle aspect of the Green Bay Packers organization. Always has been. The people you look up to that set a standard, a tone. Here, but it's different this year, but it's not. Like, I don't care. I'm just naming people. I don't give a shit. I'm sorry, what they're
No, don't worry about it.
Where they stand. But you have Bakhtiari, you have Jair, you have Aaron Jones, Kenny Clark, Rashawn Gary, so on and so forth. But really, those are the 5 that I pinnacle right here. Right. And I say, bring someone into that mix in the offensive line that's not afraid to go to battle for our quarterback, that's not afraid to stand up for our team, especially on offense, to say, we're going to be victorious, even in this play, these 4 downs, 4, 6, 8, 10, whatever. We get those first downs. We lead ourselves into victory. Because for me, a victory is a play at a time. It really is. It is a score at a time. Touchdown, that's a victory. One little thing. You have to break it down. So that's where I stand. I say if we can find someone in our draft that's confident, strong, and wants to go to battle for our team, that's where I stand.
I already said this previously on other podcasts, but I think we go defensive first.
I think so too, though.
I don't know what position. I've been saying that. Okay. Joe says hi. Hi, Joe. Okay. Cowboys reaction and 49ers prediction. Do we win? If so, what's the score? If you have a score. Wait, any one of you guys? Opinions?
So, did you want to go over Cowboys first, or do you want to just go a game prediction?
I guess just predictions.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm really bad at the at the shotgunning things. Here's what I think, though. I think it's going to be a fairly close game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be. I think both teams are going to score above 20. I think it's going to be something like, 34 to 31, something like that. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, that's the best I can give you. Like I said, I think we have a shot. I think it's going to come down to the fourth quarter. I think it's going to come down. I think we need a defensive stop or a turnover. Where San Francisco has had trouble is when they turn the ball over. Now, you can say that about any team. But we won the turnover battle against Dallas, and I think we've got to win it again against San Francisco. But if we do, then I think we could be on the plus side of that, 34-31 thing. But they're going to score points. They're definitely going to score points. And I think we'll score points too.
Emily, do you have a game prediction? I don't know if she's here.
Game prediction.
Come on, Nostradamus.
Nostradamus. I hate because I'm usually never right. But you know what? I say 2017 Packers. Book it.
Okay.
Book it. I don't know why it just came to me, and I've been thinking, and I debated saying that, but it's the truth. I say it's 21-17. It's going to be an ugly game,
Yeah.
but we are not playing under Rodgers Packers. That
Right.
got done. That being said, you know what? Anything's possible. We could get 50-0. We could beat them 50-0. I don't
Yep.
know.
Yep. Agreed. Yep.
The my gut feeling is these this team wants it.
Yep.
And I went into that mindset on this game this past week. I said it's 0-0.
Yep.
And I say even to this week, it's still 0-0. I there's no basis. Yeah, we're in the next level of the play. I no, it's still 0-0. Prove it. Prove it. Show us you want it. And if you break it down and it's that simple, it's not that hard to prove. You want
Right.
it, do it. So I'm telling you, it's Wednesday. Or see, I don't know what date it is. It's Thursday. I'm jumping out of my skin already. I have my cool. Trust me, I could be losing my mind.
Right.
But mark my words. I'm not going to give you a score here. I'm just going to say they want it. Watch it. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm not even looking. And again, I refuse to look at that moment that they know they get it. Not, I'm not there. No, I don't care about that. Say, lead it up. I want to see them get it. Cut it off
Yep.
to me. From there, God be with us. We're all our minds. I'm sorry. We'll lose our collective minds. But honestly, I love you both. I'm just saying. I can't. I. That was me giving a glimpse of me being excited. Nope.
No. Yeah.
Let this team show what they've been doing. It's not the most glamorous thing. It's not perfect, but guess what? You have a bunch of people that have the same goal, good chemistry, and look out for each other. I'm not saying we haven't had that recently, but maybe it's different.
Yeah.
Mark my words. I want to hear what you guys have to say.
So Sporles already said it's my turn. I have not said that. Oh shoot. Other shows I've said Packers. Only because the Mac and Cheese podcast is undefeated when we have guests on.
Yeah.
There we
We're
go.
undefeated besides the two games, and those two games that we lost were the Bucks and the Giants. We did not have guests on those shows. Otherwise, we have won completely.
There we go. Good luck, charm. Let's go, Pack, go.
Let's go. And too,
What?
out there, don't die. Please don't die.
I won't.
Well, and obviously you and we're all talking. I love you both.
Oh,
We talk, and maybe if we have to have an emergency powwow on Saturday, we do.
There we
I'm
go.
good.
Yep.
I'm good.
I'm serious. Just keep that in the back of your head, and we can talk about it.
Okay. You bring the meatballs.
Not even funny. Kind of is. Okay. You get. This is a fun question, and Emily, I know you know who's coming on next. not next, but soon. Who are potential guests you guys want to hear from on this podcast? Or Life of Mary?
Man.
I punted on that question, so I'll
Oh, shoot.
Mary, I know you mentioned you connected with them a little bit, but you got to get Crispy Bros on.
I don't know what you're talking about. I believe there's another person that's coming on. And I think, do I announce it tonight? Do you guys want me to announce it tonight?
You can announce it so we can promote it, baby. Come on.
I'm not sure. It's probably going to be after the Super Bowl, but the one and the only Alex Green, former Packer, is coming on this podcast.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
He said yes,
Love
coming
it.
on the podcast yesterday.
He's going to be terrific.
Yeah. And of course, Emily probably missed that one.
I'll be around.
Oh, you heard it? But the one and the only Alex Green is coming on this podcast.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that is so exciting.
That's great.
He said yes to come on the podcast.
I'm very happy for you. He's awesome.
Now let's see if you can work on Simone Biles.
Yes. Oh my God, that'd be awesome.
Wouldn't that be?
I'm already have Jason Perone on. Is that not big enough? Wait, is that not big enough for you guys? And Crispy Brothers, like Emily said, we're probably collaborating soon.
Amazing. That and
oh no.
I don't know. I gotta rack my brain.
Also, some other former guests are coming back on the podcast.
Yeah, we had a round table. We could make it work. Mm-hmm.
Some of my former guests are coming back on. Like Urinating Tree, he's coming on again. Miranda, she's coming on again. I don't know if she's listening.
Love Miranda. We'll see if we get like my buddy David Davis. We can get him on.
Emily, if you decide to have a football game day food podcast, let me know. For sure, Detroit.
Hey, I would love to do that. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
I guess we can wrap this up.
I'll list some friends of mine that maybe, again, like having a cool round table. We get a bunch of people just to shout out a couple things here and there. I'd be happy to send a couple people your way and we can make that work.
Yeah, for sure. Just let me know. I guess we should probably wrap this up because you guys might be the longest live stream ever.
This is great.
No.
Again, thank you.
I'm saying that when we had Bernie Bango on, like I told you, Emily, and he broke the record for the longest one. And I think I can tell you guys this: Mac and Cheese will be on Ike podcast. Parker's, no, whatever it's called. They're gonna
things, and I love connecting with you and talking with you. You are the best, Mary, and I'm just wishing you the best of luck. You're doing great.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna ask you a different question, but no, I'll text you about it. Sporles, you. Final thoughts, whatever.
No, thank you so much for inviting me to join. I love it. I'm definitely down for the food one. I think that could be a blast. Like you said, it'd be great if it was a round table where everyone brought one or two items or something like that. And yeah, so thanks for inviting me. I had a blast, and I can't wait for the next one.
Wait 1 second. Did you guys not read the final print? Ranting about the Bears / NFC North is always welcome. You guys did not do that, and I'm proud of you guys. So proud. And Emily, I wrote that for you because I know how much you hate the Cubs right now. Wait, do you guys have any questions for me as the podcast host?
how often do you plan to do them?
Oh shoot. Oh no. So my co-host might disagree, but I think right now we're on 2 a week right now.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's good, and like we're trying to build our YouTube channel. So if you guys can please subscribe to that. The podcast is Mag Pod. No, I don't know what it's called. It's actually funny because on YouTube Studio we can look up how people have been finding the channel, and believe it or not, people have been looking up Mac and Cheese the Food to find our podcast channel.
Oh, cool.
That's really fun. So yeah, we started with season 1 with Urinating Tree back in November. I have the exact date somewhere. Emily disappeared. Emily hopped off. Rude. She'll probably hop back on. Maybe her internet cut off. I don't know. She said she was also hungry, so.
Sounds good. Well, look, thanks so much for inviting me, and you guys have a great rest of your week. Stay warm. Well, I'm just saying, it's kind of irrelevant now, but yeah, and go Pack Go.
Go Pack Go. I'm gonna play the end outro really quick.